All right, she went on to say she's worried about the debt and lecturing Republicans on that. That would be like me telling you to eat a salad at home, but I'll leave that alone. We have New York Republican Congressman Tom Reed on all of this. Now, Congressman, you have problems with this for other reasons, not the least of which is the impact on constituents with it being in a high-tax district and state. Leaving that aside, is it your sense that this AMT thing that the Senate just sort of threw in there in the end is going to risk being a deal breaker?
No, Neil, I think at the end of the day, we're going to be able to bridge this difference. And I believe the AMT, the alternative minimum tax, was included at the last second in the Senate in order to get to the finish line. And that's why we're going to have a conference. We're going to negotiate this out. And at the end of the day, I'm very confident that the AMT provisions will be stripped.
You know, a lot of people have crunched the numbers. They have various tables and calculators you can use to see what your income, assets are, and how you'll be affected. And a lot of people who've done that in these high-tax states have come out of the short end of the stick, and they're going to pay more. And I'm wondering if that's a big worry to you.
Well, obviously, when we supported the compromise on the state and local tax deduction on the property tax side at $10,000, we also included in that analysis the alternative minimum tax being repealed. And so that's why these go hand in hand. And at the end of the day, I'm confident that we're going to get a compromise position that's going to work for us in Western New York. Now, does that mean higher end folks potentially in New York are going to be looking at more? That's a possibility. But at the end of the day, I think the overall benefits are going to outweigh the negatives. And that's why I'm supportive of this bill moving forward.
All right. So what do you tell your constituents? Many of them will certainly not be getting the cut they envisioned. I mean, obviously, there's the playing off the corporate tax relief and how that could, you know, help the economy and all of that. I mean, how do you sell it? I know the double the standard deduction and all, but how do you make that pitch?
Well, Neil, I think understanding that, you know, I come from Western New York. My home is average salary
there,
$40,000 to $42,000 versus as you go down towards the city, a firefighter and teacher making $150,000 to $250,000 as an income. Different situation.
The state tax is still high.
Well, absolutely, and that's where having this compromise position, I believe even on the state and local tax deduction, there's further room to negotiate. I'm a big fan of bringing in the income tax component of it, maybe a compromise cap, obviously, something we have to consider.
Beyond the $10,000 that they mentioned?
Yeah, and moving from not just the property tax, but also the income tax side of the ledger. I think there's a deal to be made there. And you know, when we talk to our colleagues in California and Illinois, the income tax is definitely a bigger issue, if you would, than the property tax burden that is felt by our taxpayers in Western New York, particularly bad.
All right, Congressman, thank you. Very good seeing you again.